We've got 30 uncommitted delegates that are representing over 740,000 uncommitted voters nationwide who voted uncommitted as a pro-peace, anti-war vote in the Democratic primary.
This is a meeting of uncommitted Democratic delegates here in Chicago on the eve of the Democratic National Convention.
That it's not sustainable for our own government to fund the mass killing of civilians.
Folks become delegates at their state party and then they come to the National Convention and they're either committed to the candidate, to one of the candidates, or not. In our case, we're not committed.
Man, the DNC is already falling off the rails. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch link in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, the DNC is already falling off the rails. This is one thing. When you go woke, you go broke. When you go woke, you have a stroke. I don't know what else to say. When you go woke, you don't want no smoke. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what riddles to give you. But when you go woke, it's a problem. And because you got to outwoke the woke. Y'all just having an outwoking contest. And I'm telling you, Kamala Harris is going to struggle so much with these unforeseen blind spots that people are not articulating at this present moment. I want you to look at this clip real quick of just the first day of the DNC. These Free Palestine people are just insane and taking over the DNC. Roll the clip.
Y'all can do better than that. Mike DeMonte!
150,000 people are dead! You are funding a genocide! The Harris-backed administration keeps funding money to Israel! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
They jumping on stage. They protesting outside. How can the Democrats escape this? Because they are going to be on the wrong side of history if they jump on the bandwagon of saying, Israel don't have a right to defend themselves. It's a genocide. That's not going to go well. That's not going to go well whatsoever. And they can't really stand up for Israel because then the woke will come out against them in a vehement way. Now, let me give you an example about the delegates, because just because people are running around on the internet and protesting, you know, these little blue-head devils are running around protesting and spitting on each other, that's not really the problem. The problem is this: the uncommitted delegates that are claiming that they represent 700,000 voters and they will not support her unless she come out and be a radical Palestinian. I'm telling you, don't listen to me, listen to the clip.
We've got 30 uncommitted delegates that are representing over 740,000 uncommitted voters nationwide who voted uncommitted as a pro-peace, anti-war vote in the Democratic primary.
This is a meeting of uncommitted Democratic delegates here.
Why they all look the same? But they look so. What are they? Look at these people, man. It's like Democrats live in a different time zone. Like not time zone, but like a dispensation of time. I mean, they're all just weirdos to me. They just look like weirdos. They look like somebody that will sit outside and talk trash to you, and then when you pull up on them or you get in their face, they start crying and whining and peeing their pants. That's what kind of people these people are. Anyway.
Uncommitted Democratic delegates here in Chicago on the eve of the Democratic National Convention.
That it's not sustainable for our own government to fund the mass killing of civilians.
Folks become delegates at their state party, and then they come to the national convention, and they're either committed to the candidate, to one of the candidates, or not. In our case, we're not committed because we haven't heard what we've wanted to hear. We're looking for a ceasefire. We're looking for a strong commitment on a ceasefire. We're looking for an arms embargo for us to stop sending weapons that are contributing to the genocide there.
I represent some of the over 101,000 voters in Michigan who voted uncommitted as a pro-peace, anti-war vote.
Nobody wants to see Trump in November. We are a very anti-fascist movement. We are actually doing what we can to save the Democratic Party by saying, listen, VP Harris, there is a key base of over 730,000 anti-war voters who are telling you that we want to see you turn the page on Gaza policy and save Palestinian lives.
Trump is a fascist. I put my life on it. Y'all wait till I start going to campuses, which is in the future. I'm going to go to campuses like Charlie Kirk does. I'm doing it with Turning Point USA. And I can't wait till they say Trump is a fascist. I put my life on it. I'm gonna post that video. I'm gonna say, explain to me what a fascist is. And I put my life on it. They're not gonna be able to explain what a fascist is, and they're not gonna be able to adequately explain why Trump is a fascist. I guarantee they just throw the word out there. They are the fascists, and they're fighting fascism with fascism. They're fighting racism with racism. This is what they do.
What do you want to hear from Harris in Chicago this week?
I want to hear from Vice President Harris how it is that she's going to turn a new page on Gaza policy from the destructive and disastrous policy of the last 10 months to one that saves lives.
You got to meet Harris briefly in Michigan.
We wanted to be able to speak to her directly. And the fact that Michigan voters would want to support her in the November election, but we can't do that right now while our family members, our friends, our loved ones are being killed with U.S. funded bombs. I told her that we need a policy shift that will save lives in Gaza. My community is telling me that they're losing tens and hundreds of their family members, and she said it's horrific. She's been incredibly empathetic. I do have to say that. We have seen more empathy and compassion from Vice President Harris, but that is not enough. Palestinian children can't eat words.
Is there more hope in this movement right now with Harris at the top of the ticket than there was when Biden was there?
I think that in general, we would all say we're cautiously optimistic. There is a little bit more wiggle room, we feel like, with Vice President Harris. We've already seen her change the rhetoric a little bit, but words are not enough.
I have to interject. Why are they not bringing up Hamas? Have you guys ever noticed that when they say the conflict in Israel and the Israelis, they never speak about Hamas? Because Hamas created this conflict. Hamas did the first violence towards Israelis. And you know why they don't bring up Hamas? Because you would think that they would be saying, free the Palestinian people from Hamas. They love Hamas. They support Hamas. They think Hamas is a what they call it, a peace warriors or whatever they want to say. They are in favor of Hamas. They are actually in favor of what Hamas did on October the 7th. I'm telling you guys, it's no way. Like, if you just objectively look at it and say, who's the problem in this situation? If you think Israel's the problem, okay, you say Israel's the problem. Hamas has to be an equal problem. And so therefore you should say, we on a ceasefire and we want to eradicate Hamas. We want Hamas out of our country, or whatever you want to call it. We want Hamas out of Gaza. We do not want Hamas. They literally shooting bombs over into Israel and kidnapping and raping people. We don't want them either. Objectively, you would think somebody would say that. We don't want them either. They're a terrorist organization. But they won't say that because they want Hamas. They believe that they should they want to do what they claim that Israel is doing to them. They want to do that to Israel, unprovoked. If they had power, they would clean everybody out of Israel. From the river to the sea. This is what they say. They would clean everybody out without provocation, because they're in a perpetual battle against Israel, saying that they're on stolen land and all that genocide and all this crap. But they can't. That's why they haven't. It's not because they're restrained from, it's because they just can't, because they will lose like they're doing right now. And I tell you what, as sure as I'm sitting, I need the big screen. As sure as I'm sitting here, I support everything that Israel is doing. They deserve to do it. They have an obligation to do it. And if you didn't want that smoke, you shouldn't have been messing around. I have no sympathy for Hamas. I have no sympathy for people hiding Hamas soldiers. I have no sympathy for none of these people because everybody want to act like, listen, I saw them drive them girls over into Gaza and they laughed and they hit them with sticks and they cheered it on. Yeah, Allah Akbar. They did all this stuff when they were murdering these Jews. I didn't see a person counter-protesting that. I didn't see a person trying to get out Hamas. I never seen it. Then they go and hold these people hostage. They want a ceasefire. Why don't they release the hostages? What do they got hostages for? Why did they attack Israel in the first place? Because they want their freedom. Well, look, man, y'all lost a long time ago, and you ain't going to get Israel. So what do? They live a perpetual life of trying to go to war with Israel when Israel is literally just trying to live and exist, which they rightfully should. And if you try to test that, then they got to defend themselves. I don't get how people can utter out of their mouth that it's a genocide. I don't get people dying. Okay, that's not a genocide. That's called residual effect of war. And these people are hiding these Hamas soldiers. They're hiding hostages in their own house. I see ambulance personnel giving guns from a dead terrorist to another terrorist. Who's innocent in this? The kids are. But bro, we're not finna act like we're not finna let y'all. I don't get it, man. We're not finna let y'all destroy all our people because we worry about your kids. You need to worry about your kids. If you cared about your kids, you'd never came over here. I say this all the time. It's like if I'm at my house and somebody come in and hurt my wife and kidnap my son. Well, look, you better have him with a T-bone steak dinner back at my house or everybody must dead. That's what's going to happen. And if you don't want none of your people to get hurt, bring him outside right here and make sure he's safe. Because if I got to come in there and get him, whoever in the way is going to take that L bad. Not even close. You finna take an L. And y'all keep playing, everybody on the block taking an L. I shouldn't have to go search for whoever, but you ain't had no business kidnapping my people in the first. If I got to go find them, everybody getting hurt. We going to hurt until we finish the job. If you want the job to finish, surrender. All these Hamas people, put them out in the street. Let us take them to jail. But if you ain't finna surrender and we got to come in there and find y'all, well, you better duck. When them leaflets come, you better run. You better hide. You better vote for somebody else next time. Y'all done got me on a Hamas rant. Let me finish this clip real quick.
And Aaron, you heard some cautious optimism there. Those delegates, those activists, they're going to be in here. They're going to be in the convention most of this week, working the room. Of course, there's expected to be thousands, potentially tens of thousands of demonstrators outside the convention for the pro-Palestinian cause. And look, a question these activists get a lot is, could this uncommitted movement, this saying we will not vote for Harris unless she, changes policies on Gaza, could that potentially help Trump win the election? Those activists that we spoke to said that's not their problem. That is for the Harris campaign.
I hope they eat themselves alive. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.